Retain-It systems consist of precast concrete modules that have an 8-foot by 8-foot footprint. Modules are available in custom heights, 6-inch increments between 1.5 feet and 5 feet, and may be stacked to achieve a total height of up to 10 feet. The units are rated for an HS2044 load and are usually placed on a minimum of 6 inches of structural stone and may be placed on a liner or geotextile. Modules are positioned either upright, similar to a table, or inverted with a flat bottom and a separate lid. Modules may also be oriented in a stacked clamshell fashion, with the bottom module inverted and the top module in the table configuration. Modules may also be configured or positioned to serve as sediment forebays, sand filters, and outlet structures. Modules are cast with any necessary pipe and manhole openings. The contractor is responsible for ensuring that they have the approved drawings and specifications for review and use. The contractor shall also be responsible for understanding all site conditions, permitting, arranging for inspections, and coordinating delivery needs. The area where the Retain-It modules are going to be placed must be excavated to the proper depth and crushed stone placed to the depths and horizontal limits as shown on the plan. The contractor shall prepare the base of the excavation to a continuous, even and level grade compacted to 95% of optimum density and free of rocks over 3 inches, trash, organic materials, or anything other than clean fill. Bedding for a liner must be placed and the liner rolled out to the limits of the installation. It is important that the location of the liner be verified before the first Retain-It module is placed. A layer of gravel for the protection of the liner may be needed and should be placed and leveled to the specified grade prior to the delivery of the Retain-It components. Access to the excavation for equipment moving the Retain-It modules into place needs to be provided. Before the delivery truck arrives, the customer must decide if the modules are going to be set immediately upon arrival, eliminating the need for double handling, or if the modules are going to be stockpiled on site for later installation. If the modules are going to be stored on site for later installation, an area large enough to accommodate the modules, stacked no more than 2 modules high, must be identified and leveled. Equipment must be provided by the customer that is capable of safely lifting and moving the heaviest weight of the modules. Lifting gear should be a minimum of 10 feet long and have 4-way chains or cables with lifting hooks on one end and an 11-ton swivel on the other end. Lifting gear shall be rated to meet applicable OSHA regulations. Additional tools and equipment shall include a transit, level and measuring equipment, hand tools for installing pipe flanges, gaskets and boots, including a small sledgehammer, hammer drill, pry bar, screwdrivers, and impact or socket wrenches should also be available. Typical earth-moving tools like rakes and shovels will also be needed. All required sealants, gaskets, and pipe boots should be obtained prior to installation and readily available when needed. Retain-It modules are identified by unique codes to identify where they are placed in a system, and the markings are coordinated with a design layout plan prepared by Retain-It staff. The layout plan should be consulted regularly to ensure that the correct module is chosen for installation in a particular position. The proper positioning of the first module is critical. Typically, a corner is chosen for the first module to be installed. Horizontal and vertical alignment must be closely monitored to ensure that all other modules line up correctly. The grade beneath the modules must be checked with a transit or a level to make sure that it is within 1/4 inch of what is required. It's beneficial to mark the liner or bedding stone with fluorescent paint to ensure the proper alignment of the modules. A string line should be used to make sure that the horizontal alignment is correct and that the installation of the rest of the modules will be correct. Project plans should be frequently reviewed to make sure that the correct modules are placed where required and that pipe and manhole openings are where they should be. After each module is set, a 4 or 6 foot level should be used to make sure that the module is set level in both directions. Identify the required modules to be placed in the correct order and ensure that they are placed in the proper location with the proper orientation. When placing modules, it is important to make sure that a liner, if used, is properly positioned so that it is not bunched up under a module. Make sure that all modules with roof openings are placed in the proper location. Module to module seams may be taped as each module is placed. After all modules are set, all the seams on the top and sides of the system should be sealed. Geotextiles and liner should be pulled up over the system or as directed on the plans. Crushed stone should be placed at the base of the modules to ensure that there are no voids between the fabric and module bases. Light rubber track machinery, skid steer, may be driven on the installed modules for the first 0 to 12 inches of fill. First 0 to 12 inches of fill should be compacted when there is a minimum depth of at least 6 inches with a 1 to 1.5 ton roller. When fill depths have reached 12 inches, a small dozer may be used to spread the fill, and rollers of up to 14 tons may be used for compacting. Make sure that the liner is in the correct position around the pipe opening. Geotextile fabric should be trimmed about 12 inches beyond the pipe opening to ensure that it is out of the way and doesn't interfere with sealing the liner to the module. An X opening is cut in the location of the pipe opening, slightly smaller than the OD of the pipe. Sikaflex 1A is applied to the Retain It module in 3 1/2 to 3/4 inch beads in the area where the aluminum sealing flange will be attached. Position the pre-drilled aluminum sealing flange against the liner around the hole and using a masonry bit on a hammer drill, drill the required holes for the concrete anchors. Clean anchor holes, insert anchors, and install ring. Insert the pipe boot in the aluminum flange and tighten into flange as per the pipe boot's manufacturer's instructions. Completely seal all module-to-module connections, both on top of the modules and the sides of the modules. Complete pipe connections as described, making sure that the invert of the pipe will be at the elevations shown on the plans. Manhole risers, splash pads, inlet grate structures, vents, observation pipes, or other accessories shall be installed as detailed on the plans. Complete backfill and compact fill in 9-inch lifts to 95% optimum density.